Hello guys, this is Doronsmovies and you're watching the 17th episode of the lore Q&A. So today I'll be answering some of the questions you guys left in the previous video. If you'd like to get your questions answered, make sure you either put them on the Q&A lore videos, and as I said before, it is best if you put them on the newest ones, as those are the ones I usually go through. And also the other way of sending your questions is either by YouTube personal messages, and the other way of doing it is to either send me a message on either Facebook and Twitter, as you have links in the description for that below. Okay, so let's start. Julian asks, what is Ner'zhul going to do in Warlords of Draenor since he won't become the Lich King? And will Illidan be revived? Well, Ner'zhul was the leader of the Shadowmoon clan, so I mean he will definitely have a bigger role in the expansion, but I'm not sure how actually evil he will be. But I mean in the original story he was the one that united the clans together, and he realized that Kil'jaeden was using the orcs as puppets. But now in Warlords of Draenor I'm guessing that Garrosh will be the one uniting the clans under the banner of the new Iron Horde. Also about the Illidan thing, I mean, I believe I answered this before, but Illidan wasn't actually killed because when he died, he wasn't exactly a night elf, like he was mostly a demon, and when demons die they go into the Twisting Nether, and like then they take some time to regenerate and then they return again, like depending on the size of the demon, their power or whatnot. So yeah, it kind of depends on when they will return and in what manner they will return, so I'm guessing like Illidan will make a new appearance at some point. Okay, next, J Super asks, what would have happened if the Horde never rebelled against Garrosh and if it came out like that? What would be the fate of all Garrosh's enemies, mainly the Alliance? Well, I mean, Garrosh did manage to turn the Horde into a powerful force, although with a big sacrifice, and he actually turned the entire faction into a military force, like not giving much to the actual living standards in the Horde. So yeah, I'm guessing if there was no rebellion, like the Horde would eventually invade Alliance and would probably destroy a few cities, and it would kind of look like the Horde will win. But then like some either an old hero or a big force or a forgotten faction would come back and help them out and defeat the Horde like it was done in the past. So yeah, in the long run, like Garrosh would probably still fail, although he would have a lot of victories in his path, so it would be almost something like the first and the second war combined. Okay, next, Buddy Ace asks, what are your thoughts about Blizzard's Project Titan? Well, I would say I'm really curious to know what it is. Like, there are so many speculations going on right now and for the past like what, 7-8 years, and no one really knows what it is or if it is even being worked on right now. So my guess was that Blizzard's backup, that at first like it was Blizzard's backup plan, and when they got too much success with World of Warcraft they wanted to have something to back them up if World of Warcraft failed, so that Blizzard would still be on the top. And it was being worked on until recently, and it was supposed to be announced what it actually is after like 6-7 years at the previous BlizzCon, but it was rescheduled to around 2016. So yeah, I'm guessing like they don't really need that backup plan anymore when they got so many successful titles under their belt, you know, such as World of Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft, and even the new ones that are supposed to come out and that they have still in plan. Alright, next, David asks, hey, what do you think will happen to the Knights of the Ebon Blade now that they have defeated the Lich King? Do you think they have any plans for expanding their ranks? Well, I'm pretty sure that already happened in Wrath of the Lich King, but pretty much like they freed themselves from the control of the Lich King and broke free. So it's almost like similar case to the Forsaken in a way, although not much really happened with them ever since, but something could possibly be there with an expansion that contains Sylvanas and so forth. Okay, continuing on, Jordan asks, where are the remnants of the Shadow Council and will they rise again? Well, as far as I know, they're still active and are around, although not really in the power as they were before, and they're kind of more as a smaller cult now that is searching for members to join them. But yeah, they kind of have like sections of the council So for example, there is the Burning Blade clan that is kind of independent, but then again it reports to the Shadow Council. And as you may notice, like, the Burning Blade clan is all over Kalimdor, and even in some parts of the Eastern Kingdom, like they're even just over Orgrimmar. So yeah, I mean, the Shadow Council is kind of still around, just not in the same power as they were before. But yeah, I mean, there is kind of like an opportunity to make something out of their story. So yeah, I mean, something could happen with them in the future. Okay, continuing on. Taco Waffle asks, what is your favorite / worst dungeon and raid? Also your favorite / worst boss fight, mechanically or lore wise. Finally, what do you think about demon hunters being a possible future class or a hero class? I personally would love to start off learning under Illidan at the Black Temple. He is my favorite character in World of Warcraft. Okay, so this is a bit of a tough question, as I don't really raid too much. I did most of the raids later or in LFR, but I never really had too much time to do any serious raiding with like a guild or anything like that. But most of the serious raiding I ever did was in Wrath of the Lich King. Okay, so for the favorite dungeon, I would say maybe the Utgard Pinnacle, although that was mostly because of the atmosphere in the dungeon, as I kind of really loved the Howling Fjord. And yeah, that is kind of the main reason I love that dungeon. Okay, so for the favorite raid, I would definitely say the Icecrown Citadel, mostly because of the story and the fact that we actually managed to fight and kill Artes. And I kind of also like Ulduar, mostly because of the mechanics and the titans. And Argent Tournament Grounds was pretty cool as well. Alright, so for the worst dungeon and raid, well, to start off with a dungeon, I would say the Black Morass, mostly because it was really disappointing. And I mean, it was supposed to show one of the most important scenes in the Warcraft history and pretty much how Warcraft started, and it turned out to be pretty much just killing evil time dragons in a small circle until a boss shows up. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of dull and boring. And I also didn't like the environment that much. Like, I'm aware that it is a swamp, and it still looked pretty bland and boring in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, I didn't really like the Black Morass. Okay, so for the raid, I would kinda say the Heart of Fear raid that was introduced in Mists of Pandaria, the Klexi raid. So yeah, the main issue is that it was kind of boring and dull, and the entire bug style was also kind of annoying, and then when you have to gear up your character, you have to do the same raid over and over again. So yeah, it wasn't really the best raid ever in World of Warcraft. Okay, and for your last question, well, I believe I kind of answered this before in like a first few episodes, but I think it is possible to introduce the Demon Hunter as a class, as it would be something between like a warlock and a rogue and some sort of a warrior, but in like a Death Knight sort of a hero class style. So yeah, it would be pretty cool, but I'm guessing a lot of people would like to see it in the game anyways. And I'm guessing if they were to actually introduce the Demon Hunters, like, the expansion would have to do something with Illidan again, so it would be a perfect way to reintroduce Illidan as well. Alright, and the last question is by Chaotic Chicken, and he asks, I was just wondering what's the difference between the Forsaken and the Scourge. I mean, I know the Forsaken broke free from Arthas, but what is that makes them different from the others? Okay, so the main difference between the Forsaken and the Scourge is that the Forsaken have a free will, unlike the Scourge who are pretty much just mindless zombies. They just walk around and do anything that the Lich King tells them to do. And even in Warcraft 3, like, you could notice that when Sylvanas was under his control, she would obey Arthas' orders without any questions as well. So yeah, I mean, the main reason is the fact that the Forsaken are free. But yeah, Forsaken are pretty much just like any other faction out there, even though they're just undead. Okay, that is all I have for now. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to leave your questions for the next Q&A, either by YouTube personal messages, Q&A comment section, or either Facebook and Twitter. And also don't forget to like, favorite and subscribe, and also give some feedback on what you think and what you would like to see. Again, thanks for watching, and see you next time.